My name is Pam Weber, and I'm the Chief Marketing and Operations Officer for 99 Designs.
Megan, and I'm Head of UX at 99 Designs. We focus on making the website easy to use for clients and designers.
My name is Sophie. I'm working at 99 Design on the support.
I'm Eva. I'm the General Manager of our European operation.
My name is Kelly Moore, and I am a Senior Marketing Manager focusing on our content and content strategy at 99 Designs.
Before I joined 99 Designs, I founded a wall decal company for kids and babies' rooms called We Decor.
Outside of work, I'm an artist, and I used to have a jewelry label where I'd make resin rings and bangles.
So yeah, I'm actually like a graphic designer myself and illustrator too.
Before joining 99 Designs, I've launched a graphic design marketplace called 12 Designer.
I have several projects that I work on as a side hustle. I co-wrote and produced an independent film a couple of years ago. I'm a novelist, and I also started a small t-shirt business.
My biggest fear when starting We Decor was, could I actually build a business that generated revenue?
One of the biggest challenges for me about going into business was backing my own creative ability and having the confidence to put myself out there.
The biggest obstacle as I'm working is time.
When I was thinking about building my design startup, I felt confident about building a platform, but if I'm honest, I had really no idea how to market it.
You have to be pretty confident because you do it by yourself. So every step that you do is really you have to be your own boss. So it can be quite challenging sometimes because you just have to keep going.
I fought this obstacle by saying to myself every day, if I can just do 3 things to make progress on this goal, I'll be on a good path.
One of the ways that I fought this challenge was actually putting myself into positions that made me feel uncomfortable and persisting with that and becoming used to it, and then I actually started to enjoy it.
Luckily, a friend of mine who runs a design community picked up my press release, and a lot of great designers signed up, and even a big German corporation launched a design contest which got the designers very excited. So I think I was pretty lucky, and I'm grateful for this initial spark.
How I overcame this obstacle was just making sure I was learning everything I could about it, doing the research, whether it's online, talking to people who had done something similar, really just trying to educate myself so that I could take on this thing that I didn't know anything about beforehand.
You really have to not be afraid actually and just be confident.
When I think back on my career, the things that make me smile are the moments I had working with great people throughout my career. I can vividly remember sitting in conference rooms or next to someone and sharing ideas and making progress on a business goal, and I have a lot of fond memories of the people I worked with.
When I think about actually the joy that someone would get from a piece of jewelry that I had created, or the fact that someone would fall in love with some artwork that I had made, is just such a great feeling.
When I look back, I think the thing that I'm most proud of is that I have been able to continue pursuing these creative endeavors while I've been working. I have an MFA in creative writing, I have an undergraduate degree in film, and I think so many people who get creative degrees in college or university don't end up using them or end up going into a field and then don't feel fulfilled. And I'm really proud of the fact that I've been able to still work on these, both in my job at 99 Designs and outside of it.
I think these are the small things you smile about, like things which are maybe happening less when your company becomes more professional.
Now with some distance into it, I know that everything that I did made a difference, but just have to be patient.
The worst thing about having a side hustle is you never feel like you have enough time to really put forth effort on it.
The worst things, I would say, or the most difficult things, is having a full-time job as well as a business on the side and trying to find the time to actually fit in family commitments as well.
When you work by yourself, then it's really hard to have a structure in your everyday life.
The worst thing is just time management and figuring out how to do it. It's oftentimes you find yourself on the weekend and you're like, I have 3 hours, I can go to a cafe and write, I can work on, a website, or I could clean my apartment, or I could hang out with my friend or go skiing. So it's really trying to find that balance.
The best thing about managing a side hustle is you get to go home from your day-to-day job and think of a new and interesting business challenge.
So the best thing is the fact that I can actually switch off after a difficult day at work and I can go home into my art studio and paint almost as a form of therapy.
Knowing that I can stay true to myself and engage in these creative activities while still, making a living and paying my bills.
My number one piece of advice for female entrepreneurs is to not be afraid to ask for help. There are so many resources out there, whether they're friends, family, or people you haven't even met who are ready and willing to help you. Don't be afraid to take advantage of that.
I think my biggest piece of advice would be to really understand what's important to you and what you love and why you're doing it.
So I would say put yourself out there and actually have confidence in your abilities. What's the worst that could happen?
I think this advice goes obviously for female, but it goes beyond gender. It's just like, don't get stuck by stereotype and just do what you want and follow your dream.